The Kansas City Chiefs have become the gold standard for offense in the modern NFL. They went on a 4-year run where they had the perfect mix of insanely talented personnel and an incredibly creative, dynamic scheme that was perfectly designed to rack up points, yards, and wins at an unbelievable rate. So I've recreated this Chiefs offense for you to use in Madden 23, and we will be pulling real-world X's and O's that the Chiefs use so you can run your offense just as they would, but we will be making certain schematic adjustments to make sure this offense is as effective as possible in Madden. Our goal in this scheme is to put pressure on every inch of the field. We will combine the West Coast passing game with a ton of college spread elements and then add in a downfield passing game to make this offense impossible to stop. In this scheme, there will be 5+ videos where we do a full breakdown of this Chiefs playbook, and the architect of this Chief offense is Andy Reid, who will go down in the history of the NFL as one of the greatest offensive minds of all time. His roots are in the West Coast passing game, and he got his start on Mike Holmgren's staff in Green Bay in the 90s on those great teams led by Brett Favre. And after honing his skills there, he was given the head coaching job in Philadelphia, where he teamed up with Donovan McNabb, and they had an amazing run where they rewrote the Eagles record book and made 4 straight NFC title games. And he moved to Kansas City, and he had a good yet unremarkable 5-year run from 2013 to 2017. But then the Chiefs drafted a somewhat unknown quarterback, a kid from Texas named Patrick Mahomes. This changed everything. Reid went from a game manager in Alex Smith to the most exciting playmaker at QB the NFL has ever seen. And this is where the true genius of Andy took over. He didn't try to lump Mahomes into his West Coast scheme. He morphed his offense and combined it with college spread principles to create one of the most unstoppable offensive machines the NFL has ever seen. Their best statistical season was in 2018, where they averaged 35.3 points per game, which is the 3rd most in the Super Bowl era, and they led the NFL that year in total yards with 425 per game. This was Mahomes' first year as a starter, and he captured league MVP, and over their first 4 years together, they made the AFC Championship game every year and won a Super Bowl in Mahomes' 2nd year as a starter in 2019. Now, there are some main principles that the Chiefs have utilized over the years, and we are going to be utilizing them all and adapting them to fit our needs in Madden. First is to take classic West Coast passing principles that utilize a ton of that quick rhythm passing game, and these are great at utilizing Mahomes' ability to process information and diagnose the defense, and this just allows him to pick apart any defense he faces. Then Reid combines the West Coast with elements from the spread college game, like the formations that they employ, then throwing a ton of RPOs that utilize a ton of that same quick passing game. But then Reid also included the QB into his run game. This helped flip the numbers in the offense's favor and gave them a whole new wrinkle to running the ball. Now, all of these together allowed them to be incredibly efficient and move the ball on any defense. Next, Reid is an incredibly creative play caller, and then Patrick is a wizard after the ball is snapped. So I wanted to bring the same creative flair to this scheme. There will be motion all over the field, giving us super unique looks. We're going to rotate through a ton of different formations to keep our opponent guessing, and I'm going to bring route combos and ways to attack your opponent that you have never seen before. This is all designed to get your best players the ball in space with room to operate so they can make as many plays as possible. Then the part that puts the CO2 boost into this offense and takes it from a quick pass and ball control scheme to an unstoppable force in nature that can put points up in an instant is the speed that they bring to the table. They prioritize this element at every position, and it helps them be super dangerous after the catch, and they can take underneath throws and gain a ton of extra yardage. But no player signified this more than Tyreek Hill. And when he matched up with Mahomes' insane arm talent, they took the top off the defense and are one of the best deep shot duos in the history of the league. And I'm going to bring this same element to this offense. We are going to put constant pressure on their deep coverage. Now, you're going to be able to find a ton of this Chiefs offense on YouTube for free, but if you want to take it to the next level, you need to check out my website, Scheme Kings. As we go along with this offense, there are going to be a ton more videos going up on the site, but up today is the first part of this scheme where I give you 6 plays out of the formation pistol wing flex close. Really utilizes all of the elements of this Chiefs offense, and it is going to be super explosive for you, and it is going to be a great place to start with this scheme. And there's a ton more up on the site that you can check out, like my already released full offensive and defensive schemes. Then I'm actually running a sale on the site right now. Use code TOP5 at checkout for 50% off your first month, and this sale will run till November 20th. So if you want to check out Scheme Kings, I will leave a link for it down in the description below. Now, having a great offense scheme really helped the Chiefs, but what put them over the top was their insane group of talent. And it was all built around their three main stars. And if you nailed down these spots, you were going to have a ton of success in this offense. First is at QB, they had the prodigy, the ultimate playmaker, and a player who many already consider the most talented quarterback the NFL has ever seen in Patrick Mahomes. He is a blend of skills that we really haven't seen before. He combines the brain power and processing with the backyard ball playmaking ability to extend plays, and then an arm that has insane power to put the ball into any area of the field. Now, at my QB spot, I am using RG3, and he is a great arm and can put the ball anywhere he needs to. Then for an ability, we have set feet lead to get that extra zip on the ball. And he has great mobility and can make plays out of the pocket like Patrick, but then he has even better top end speed, and we are going to be using him even more in the run game than the Chiefs use Mahomes. Next, they had the cheetah, Tyreek Hill, quite possibly the fastest player ever to lace up cleats. He brought world-class speed to the offense and gave them an element unlike anything else in the NFL. The Chiefs would get incredibly creative with the ways to get him the ball in space, but it was as a deep threat that totally altered how defenses had to play the Chiefs. He could take the top off any defense if you left him one-on-one. Now, for my speed receiver, I will be using Tyreek Hill. Now, he is going to line up in the slot for us in any formation where that is possible, and we will scheme him open the same ways. I have a ton of ways to get him the ball underneath and let him make plays in the open field, and then we also have deep shots schemed into the offense to get huge plays down the field, and we do have short and elite on him to make sure he can get extra separation versus man coverage. Then for their third star, the Chiefs had the legend Travis Kelce. He is inarguably one of the greatest tight ends ever, and he was the perfect complement to Hill. He is an amazing route runner and can break off from man coverage with ease. He is incredible in the red zone and is one of the best contested catch players in the entire NFL. So at my tight end, I'm using Greg Olsen, and he is a great option to use at every level of the field, and I scheme the ball to him an absolute ton, whether it's short underneath or deeper down the field. Then once again, I do have short and elite on him, and this is just to make sure we can win against man coverage. Then for the rest of our personnel, we will be rotating through a ton of formations and groups of players, with one of our main ones being 10 personnel, where we have 4 receivers and 1 running back. Now, along with Hill, the other 3 receivers are Hester, Kupp, and Rice. Here we are aiming for speed and to put pressure deep down the field, and we want the ability for them to make plays after the catch. The players who played these roles for the Chiefs over the years were Sammy Watkins, McCole Hardman, and Demarcus Robinson. Then for abilities, I have short and elite on Kupp and route tech on Rice. And if you can get these abilities, I definitely recommend it because man coverage is so common in Madden right now. But my goal for this scheme is to not make it reliant on abilities. So all the abilities I use are just there to help make this scheme that much better, but aren't necessary to run it. The next group we will use is 11 personnel, and this will be our go-to look. And in it, we will have 1 tight end, 3 receivers, and 1 running back. Now at running back, we want to use a player with good speed to make plays in the open field and the ability to make people miss with the ball in his hands. Then this player is going to be an absolute weapon out of the backfield for us, and we will throw him the ball a ton, so make sure he is a capable receiving option. And some players the Chiefs have used here over the years are Kareem Hunt and Clyde Edwards-Helaire. Then most of this offense will be run out of shotgun, but we will be getting under center, and one of the groups we will use is 12 personnel with 1 running back and 2 tight ends. This will give us a bit more size and allow us to use an under center run game, but we do have some really good explosive passes in our arsenal when we get in these looks. Here's a full look at my lineup that I use for this offense, and here's the abilities I use. You can pause these screens and take a closer look if you need to. Then if you want to use this offense in rags, I would use the Dolphins and utilize all their speed, or use the Chiefs with Mahomes or the Bills with Josh Allen. Now this Chiefs offense is one of the best we have ever seen, and I actually just did a countdown of my top 5 offenses in NFL history, and this is coming in at number 1. And I break down each one of these schemes and I show you how you can run them in Madden. So if you want to take a look at any of the top 5 and try to run them for yourself, you need to check out this playlist right here.